Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me. This is Ciara from Ciara T Designs, and today I have these flat shaker cards to share with you, so let's jump right in. So I did make these cards for my April challenge that goes on in my Facebook group. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but we will start by making some card bases. Now, generally I pre-make my card bases. However, I ran out and I have not sat down to make more yet. So you're going to watch me make some. And in case you've never made bases before, hopefully this is helpful for you. So I've cut down a standard piece of cardstock, which in North America is 8.5 by 11, into halves, and that will create the card bases. You'll see me score them here in a moment. And then for my panels, I've brought in my favorite HammerMill Cardstock. It is my favorite for blending. It's my favorite for quite a few things, actually. I use it pretty predominantly in my card making. And I'm going to cut that down to be 1/4 of an inch smaller than the bases so that I have a good area around them when we create the shaker. And that will be relevant a little bit later. So once scored, my card bases are 4.25 by 5.5. I prefer a side fold. If you wanted to do a top fold instead, you'd just have to cut the cardstock long side instead of short side, and that would give you top folding cards. You guys will see the kittens pop into these videos quite a bit. They did help me a lot with these cards. And if you haven't seen them before, this is my storage for the dome foam holder. I get a lot of questions about storage for the dome foams because they're rounded. You can't just set them underneath the inks like you can the flat foams. So I actually created a dome foam holder. There is a free download on my website. You can go and check it out if you go to ciaratdesigns.com, and then under the freebies section, there, the downloads. And then there is actually a live stream where I create the whole unit. So you can go and check that out if you're at all interested. And the link is always in the description as well. So I'm going to do ink blended backgrounds for these. If you don't prefer ink blending, which I know some of you don't, you could easily use sprays. You could do ink smushing. It doesn't really matter. Just make sure that your panel is fully dry before you create the shaker card. You could use pattern paper. You could emboss. You literally can make any background that makes you happy. You guys know, if you've been with me for any length of time, ink blending is probably my favorite technique. I go back to it again and again because I love it so much. So it is generally where I end up, but you don't have to do that. Really just pick a technique that creates a fun background. I mean, you could do alcohol inks if you wanted to, although I don't know if I'd want to cover them myself, but completely up to you. So for my first blend of Oxide inks, I used Picked Raspberry, Worn Lipstick, and Seedless Preserves. Sorry, technically it was actually Worn Lipstick, Picked Raspberry, and then Seedless Preserves in that order. And then for my second, I have Cracked Pistachio, Tumbled Glass, and Peacock Feathers. And then for my last one, I'm going to use Fossilized Amber, Spiced Marmalade, and Festive Berries. You don't have to use Oxide inks, although I do find they create really smooth and beautiful blends. But you can use distress inks. You can use any water-based would work really well for this. You can use not water-based. I just personally have no experience blending with them. So you'd have to experiment with whatever inks you have on hand. But I just prefer the oxides. If you use distress inks instead of oxides, I do find you'll have to do more layers because the oxides are so opaque that you don't really have to worry about any translucency, whereas the distress inks are translucent. So because of that, you just have to layer it a bit more to get a smoother blend. You can still do it. It just takes a little more patience and a little more effort. So I've gone in and almost done my full 3 blends here. And honestly, you could pick any colors, whatever speaks to you. I am trying really hard to use colors I don't usually lean to. So Worn Lipstick, Picked Raspberry, and Seedless Preserves is a combo I haven't really done, though I do generally do a lot of pink blends. And then, of course, the greens are kind of just a fun green and tealy blue, which is kind of fun one. And then this one kind of makes me think of a sunset, which is always really pretty to look at. Now I'm going to talk real quick about the challenge. So if you're at all interested, I do a crafty challenge every month over on my YouTube channel. It gets announced on my YouTube channel. Sorry, it's in my Facebook group. The video is on the YouTube channel, but the actual announcement is in the Facebook group. I will have a link to the group down below if you want to check it out. You do have to kind of ask to join the group. So it just has 2 questions and they're really easy. It's just that you're not going to, be mean to anybody, and that where did you hear about the group from? It's just to keep the anybody spammy out, because you guys know there's a lot of spam and AI and stuff. So it's just to kind of prevent any of that coming into the group. So you just have to answer 2 questions. The link is in the description. And so for April, we're going to do interactive cards. That is the challenge for this month. And I know that can sound a little bit intimidating, but hopefully it won't be. Hopefully it'll be a fun, creative challenge for you, which is kind of the point. That's why it's the crafty challenge. And so for my entry, I'm showing you guys how to do a flat shaker card. Now, if you want to, you can recreate exactly what I'm making with whatever you have on hand. It doesn't have to be too hard. You can make a shaker element. You could make a wobbly element. You could make, I've seen some cards that have like an element that spins, anything like that. Just make it have some kind of interactive element, just as a fun, different challenge, because I've had the Facebook challenge now for over a year. So, I have to come up sometimes with new ideas, and then I repeat ideas sometimes. Like we've done florals already a few times because I love them so much. So I thought interactive would just be really fun. And if you can't come up with anything, recreate a shaker card. Whether you use, like a traditional shaker card where it has, foam and whatnot, or this kind of flat shaker card, it really doesn't matter. Just kind of have fun and do something a little bit different. So I'm going to create the shaker element now. I use leftover packaging. This was from a Tim Holtz stamp set, I want to say, or maybe it's from a die. And I cut off the sticky parts. So the sticky area where it was holding itself shut, the sides where it's actually sealed. You can use the side if you want to. I have seen people do that, where they kind of use it and make like a pocket out of it. I don't do that. I don't find that the easiest way for me, but there's no wrong way. So whatever works for you. So I kind of cut off all the areas I know I'm not going to use. So anything that's sticky, anything that is, closed, I get rid of all of that. And then I cut it down to be, I was trying to see if I could use 1 sheet for the 3 cards. I don't. I end up using 2 sheets. But I would say leave yourself at the least 1/4 inch all the way around. I would actually suggest slightly bigger than that, not quite 1/2 inch unless you really want to, but I would say at least the bare minimum 1/4 inch all the way around. So you can see like I'm measuring this out to be 1/4 inch bigger than my base that I've cut down to be 1/4 inch smaller than that A2 size. And then on the other ones, I'm going to actually make them just under 1/2 inch larger. It just gives you a little bit of extra wiggle room in case you need it. So keep that in mind. And I know how difficult this is to see because it is like an acetate, so it's not easy to see, but hopefully you'll get the idea. And if not, ask questions. I do respond to every comment you guys leave, always. So if you leave me a comment, it might take me a minute, but I always respond. So, if you have any questions about making these, let me know and I will happily respond the best that I can. So I've lined it up how I want it. I try really hard not to slide it around, and I've cut off the corners on each edge. This is to prevent stuff falling out. That is the most problematic area, is where you have the plastic fold over top of itself. It is the most likely area to create a pocket where the shaker bits will fall out. So to prevent that, I cut those edges off on an angle. You don't cut them too close or you'll still leave yourself a gap there, but enough that there's a whole bunch of extra material just kind of being stuck down. Now I'm going to do the bottom first and then the 2 sides. I do this so that I can overlap the area that I'm taping. I've seen others, you can tape every side at the same time, but this gives me the best results. So this is kind of what I've come up with. So you saw me do the bottom, I folded over the plastic, then I do the 2 sides. This is an 1/8 inch score tape, by the way. 1/4 inch should work as well. It just depends on how big your corners are, how much plastic you have wrapping around. That's what kind of determines what size of score tape I use. Simply because if I don't have a lot of plastic, I don't want the sticky tape to be sitting out and grabbing everything it touches while I'm creating the cards. So I'm going to fold over this edge as well. There I have my 3 sides. I've created the pocket, is now fully sealed. I will add the double-sided tape on the top, but we won't actually do anything with that until we've filled it with its shaker bits, of course. So then I will do the other 3 pockets. That's pretty much all. It does take a little bit of practice not to have stuff fall out. I've had them where they've fallen out in the past. It does happen. It's not a big deal. Honestly, I figure out where the hole is and then I put some glue in it. It's what I've done, and I've plugged the hole that way. So just something to keep in mind if you have that issue. Now for my shaker bits, I'm going to use glitters from Tim Holtz. I use these specifically because they are anti-static and because I'm Canadian and we're still kind of in the winter-ish months, it can be very dry and staticky in the air. So these keep them in the card, and it just makes it easier for me. So I have Distress Rock Candy glitter, I have Mica Flakes, and then I have the chunky glitter, which is in the limited edition container. I don't know if you can still get the limited edition container, but regardless, use whatever glitter you have on hand. Just be aware that it might be full of static, so it might try to stick to the plastic. That's the only thing. So if you find that, you might want to look at investing in some of the Tim Holtz glitter, but try what you have on hand first and see what happens. And there's no right or wrong as to how much you add. That's kind of a learning experience as well, because it depends on how much room you have in your pocket. Like if you've added foam, you have more room than you do if you have a flat shaker card. So it really kind of depends. Don't add so much that they can't shake around, because keep in mind, because this is flat, there isn't a lot of shaking area. So it's one of those things where it's a little bit of a kind of trial and error scenario, and you learn as you create, and that's not a bad thing. So I've kind of added all of my shaker bits. They're all sealed now. You did see me cut the die earlier. This is from Simon Says Stamp. It's just the large fancy wafer die. I think it's really pretty. It's one of my favorite happy birthday dies. I think that it's great for a card like this because you don't really need to add anything else here. You can if you want to, but I don't. I'm just going to do the shaker cards with the beautiful blending, and then we're going to add these dies on top, and there you go. That's the card. I think it's a fairly quick card to bring together. You can create them in multiple different colors. You could do this in stages if you wanted to. I think they're pretty versatile. And if you don't want happy birthday, do a thanks die, do a hello die, you could add things on top if you wanted to. I generally don't, because I want the shaker element to be what stands out, but you absolutely could. It's whatever you want to use in your crafty space. So I'm going to quickly touch on, I have a poll going on in my community section. So if you go to my page, there's like a community tab. If you click on it, there is a poll going on. If you've already voted, thank you so much. And it's just to give me an idea of what you guys might like to see on the channel for a new series. I've kind of been, sorry, right now they're running into my camera stand and they're playing above my glass mat there. You can see, I think it's Az's tail jump in and out of the screen quite a bit. You're going to see his foot here in a second as well. And I want your guys' input. I want this to be kind of a collaborative situation. So if you go over to the community tab on the poll, there's 3 options. There is like a 5 cards, 1 kit type scenario, probably would be with the Simon Says Stamp kit, because they're my favorite. I love Simon Says Stamp. You guys know this. So it would be, getting their monthly kit, creating 5 cards with whatever comes in the kit. It would be a fun challenge for me. Hopefully it would give you guys an idea to see different products in use, and it would be kind of fun. And I don't have a very big stash, so it would kind of be a good stash builder for me as well. And it would just give me a challenge of working with new and different products. So that's always kind of an interesting way to, work on my creativity, because you have to keep in mind, there's 52 weeks in a year. I do 2 videos a week. I make 104 videos a year, sorry. So I do need sometimes a little bit of a challenge to, create different things and work with different projects, because I worry my content might get stale and you guys might not get anything new or anything interesting. And I do worry about that for you guys. Second, there is a behind the scenes option. That one I would do as an extra video on the channel. It would not replace any of the Monday or Thursday already content. It would be something like maybe the 15th and the 30th. I would upload new videos, and it would be behind the scenes. So it would be stuff like doing my nails, working on the stationery collection, stuff with the cats, organization in the office or the studio, whatever you want to call it. It would be that kind of stuff. So that's an option. And then the third option was a mixed media series where we kind of work every week, or I would say probably every second Thursday, maybe we would do a mixed media project. And that would be, just a way to, again, challenge my creativity, kind of do different things. So those are the 3 options I have. If you have a different idea, you can of course comment it on the poll. But that's kind of what I have you guys voting on. Yes, the first one is green for, I don't know what reason. It did that automatically. I couldn't fix it. I don't know why it did it. That doesn't mean you have to vote for it. It's green and has a check mark. Just ignore that and vote for whatever you think you would enjoy doing. So hopefully you guys go and check that out. Go and vote for me, and that would be amazing. So that is the cards I have for you guys today. I hope you've enjoyed them. I hope you'll leave me a like, leave me a comment, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I do new videos every every Monday and Thursday. And honestly, I have been losing subscribers. So if you like my content, please consider subscribing. That does really help the channel because it does let YouTube know that, my content is worth seeing for, other people, and it can help the channel grow, which of course, helps me have this be my career. So thank you guys so much. To my members, you are phenomenal. I love you. Thank you so much for your support. I cannot express what it means to me. And I will see you guys again very soon. Bye-bye for now.